Welcome to the best gambling show on the internet. This is the home of the money pick. We're starting really early, so I understand a lot of people aren't going to be on. The video will be up tonight. Let's get this money, week 13. Follow me on Instagram, Lawson Bets NFL. I want to thank you to everyone on Patreon. I'm really excited about this week, and we've been excited about the last few weeks, and it's been a long time since we had a losing week. And you guys know I get those people, Lawson, you went 8-8 on the video. I don't bet every game. I'm not a degenerate gambler. I pick the 4 or 5, and we keep winning. We keep pushing in profit. We're doing this for real. They bet monopoly money. We bet real money. We buy houses. They rent condos. We buy apartments. They stay in studios. Let's keep getting this money. Let's keep doing what we do. I'm really excited about it. I'm going to move quick. What's up, J-Sop? What's up, Tony Trail? What's up, Ray? Yo, J-Sop, you hit me with that Cowboys bet in the first half last night. That was absolutely brilliant. It was how you use risk aversion to your advantage, man. What's up, Tico? What's up, Michael Cooper? Yeah, Cincinnati -2 early is good, man, because the Chargers have a lot of bluster around them, but I'm not sure they can stop Joe Mixon. I didn't see the injury report. That game hasn't leaked yet as in terms of the injury report, but it's the same fundamentals as last week. I took a bunch of hate. I took a bunch of flack for having the balls to bet Denver +2.5 against the Chargers. It wasn't popular. Even on Patreon, I got ripped to shreds. But the main thing was, I don't know if this Chargers front seven can stop any running back in this league, let alone Joe Mixon, let alone Joe Burrow with a good play action game to Jamar Chase. And that's the main thing in this league. You have to bear down. You have to be extremely physical. And yes, I do like Cincinnati. I have to, of course, see the injury report before I put the bet on Patreon, but in this league, sometimes you start questioning yourself. You're like, well, is Cincinnati going to have a letdown this week? Are the Chargers going to come to play? Listen, there's big problems with the Chargers. Like I said, the run defense isn't helping anything. And then also, their offensive line got their ass kicked last week against Denver. And, Denver's got a pretty good defense. Vic Fangio's a pretty good defensive coordinator. But you really shouldn't be getting your ass kicked by Denver's defensive line when they're without Von Miller, and let's get this money. And how do I join Patreon? I am him. Link is in the description, patreon.com/Lawson Show, $5 a month. I post the bets every Friday night. We're going to be coming with more soccer. I've been slacking on that a little bit just due to how intense the NFL's been. But the soccer picks are also a gravy train on there, and I'll be doing that in the off season. But most people would take it through football season, then they end. Also, Walter, he won the Patreon contest. Walter, I didn't forget about you, bro. I will be getting you your money. I will download Venmo. Because I'm in a different country, sometimes it blocks my shit. I got Cash App on my phone already. I got PayPal. We'll find a way to get it going. If I can't get Venmo on this phone, which I'm pretty sure I will be able to, I'll have my family send you a check in the mail. Let's get this money. Hit the like button. I'm going to get to the Patreon questions first. We got a lot to get through. 2 p.m. start. Let's get it. Let's get it. Adrian, why do people bet parlays and complain about losing? Because everyone wants the biggest nut possible. It's not sexy me going 3-1. It's not sexy me going 4-2, even though that's how the money's made long term. You could be the best bettor in the world and you won't make money with parlays. Sure, everyone's going to strike that one big nut on a parlay. It's realistic. Back in the day when I used to do them when I was a teenager and I would get the ticket with my dad, I think I might have been better at gambling then because I knew every little detail. Like I knew every offensive lineman. So even at that level and I could mix in college games on the parlay and I was a college football addict. I still only hit 3 or 4 a year. And for the bookie, that was a lot per year. And those were only 4 or 5 teams. Now, when we're talking about monster, like 12, 13 team teasers, yeah, dude, you got to just do the math. And parlays, the math favors Vegas. Vegas is out to screw us no matter which way and what. I mean, I don't want to get into the history of Vegas or high level economics and corporate economics. But when we're looking at what has happened in Vegas, pretty much every company in Vegas is owned by a conglomerate, a corporation. There's only one sole proprietor who owns a casino, and that's the Palms. If Dana White gets banned at casinos for winning, what do you think happens to us? And I'm not the only one who's been banned at, like, let's say, Bovada. There's plenty of people to be banned. I don't even take credit for that, like I'm some sort of expert gambler. But one thing I don't do is I don't throw away money on parlays. They're good to do for fun. Or if you have a week where you don't have a good read and you just want to bet 15, 20 bucks on a parlay, then go for it. But we're trying to do this at a professional level, dude. I'm not trying to, wake up at 6 a.m. and go to a job. I already lived that life, and that's not something I want to do. It just isn't. That's why we have to be extremely disciplined with the gambling, and I have to get on people about parlays. Like, for the views, dude, if I wanted to just, like, chill for the views, I would just do parlay videos all week and sell dreams. But that's not what we do. We make our dreams a reality on this show. I'm going to get to this question because I wanted to talk about the Washington game. Then I'm going to keep getting to the Patreon questions. Tico says, what do you think about the Washington football team without Landon Collins and McKissick? My question to you is, I haven't seen the Friday injury report, but is Antonio Gibson going to play? I can live without Landon Collins because Landon Collins mostly plays in the box. And yes, he helps with the run game, but I think this Washington interior will beat the Raiders interior. And that's something that Dallas doesn't present. For instance, Dallas doesn't have any good interior defensive linemen. Allen's playing some of the best interior football in this league. A Washington No Names fan told me that, and I've been noticing it on film as well. So that's what we get to. Let's get this money. I still like Washington. It is risky, and there is a reason why they're +2. But this Raiders team, we've been on it since the beginning. Once they lost Ruggs, this team has really just fallen off. Yo, what's up, Hector? What's up, Josh? What's up, Dave? Yeah, YouTube didn't send the notification. Dude, I've been shadow banned on YouTube. So it is what it is. I think one time we were talking about Rodgers and that disease. I don't want to say it on here because they don't want us talking about it. But yeah, once we talked about that and we were laughing about it and we were laughing about what happened on the Pat McAfee show, that's when I got shadow banned. So it is what it is. I'm actually happy with the 17K we got. If I stay at this point, I'm completely fine. This is from Aram Avakian. Thanks, Lawman. I'm new around here. Please go in depth with the Bills-Pats game this week. With Bills at -2.5, it's almost a pick 'em. Let's get this money. Okay, this Bills game is one I will not be betting. And it's one I wanted to bet. I wanted to pound the Bills. But there's a lot of things about the Bills that are troublesome. Look at the turnovers from Josh Allen. I mean, that is maybe the main issue with Buffalo. And then you look at the Patriots on the other side of the ball. I mean, everyone wants to talk about Mac Jones. And Mac Jones has been absolutely brilliant. He doesn't turn the ball over. The kid can ball. I mean, we got to give him credit. And everyone's been giving him tons of credit. But here's what I'm worried about in terms of this game for the Buffalo Bills. I'm worried about New England running the rock. And New England is able to run the rock. And we saw it against Atlanta. Not that Atlanta has a stout defense by any means, but this Bills front seven's weak, okay? And Credit to Jonathan Taylor for having that monster game against the Bills, but I think it's more about that Bills front seven being small and getting pushed around. Like, they got Ed Oliver, they got Tremaine Edmonds, but outside of that, is there anyone who can win run battles? Is there anyone who can really penetrate and stop a run in the backfield? I don't see it. And the Bills are built to play with the lead, and they're not getting a ton of leads. Now, I still am leaning towards the Bills. The lean is obviously on the Bills, but honestly, man, I think this game is going to be decided by a last-second field goal. And there is a possibility the Bills don't show up. That is one thing. Like, we know the Patriots are going to show up. We know the Patriots are going to be competitive. We know that. And we know they're going to keep it close. But there is a possibility this Bills team comes out and lays an egg. Like, if you're suffering blowouts to the Indianapolis Colts, the Patriots are a little bit better than the Colts, and that's going to create problems. And, yeah, I'm nervous about it for the Bills. Really, really nervous about it for him. Okay, this is from Uncle Jay. J Law, how do you feel about San Fran minus 3.5? I want to go big on this one. Let's take a look at the injury report. I'm pretty sure it dropped. There was a San Francisco fan on Instagram, Erica Santana. She told me she didn't like what she saw in the injury report from the 49ers. So let me get to that injury report 1 second, because that was my initial gut feeling. Pound San Fran. And then right when I did finish the video, the Vegas spread video, it jumped up a full point to 3.5. When I did the video, we were at like -2 San Fran, because people were still buying into that Seahawks dream and what happened in 2017 and all that good stuff. All right, let's get to the injury report. Let me read this. Deebo Samuel's probably going to be out. Nick Bosa's practice. Mac practiced. Elijah Mitchell's going to play. Okay, I'm trying to. D Ford missed practice, but D Ford should play, right? I mean, okay, someone go in a live chat. We used to have an injury guy who knew every injury in the world. He would know if like a backup quarterback stubbed their toe in the buffet line. Lawson, where do you get the injury report from? I get it from the official team websites, and I also use CBS, although CBS's site's really, really bad. And also Pro Football Talk later in the day, Friday, usually around 6 or 7 o'clock. Pro Football Talk will post all the injuries for every game. I don't like that site. I don't like Mike Florio. Just look at how he takes shots at Aaron Rodgers. It's really annoying, but we got to use what we got to use. Okay, let me get to another Patreon question. I want to go big on it too, Uncle Jay. Just wait until tonight, because I don't take those decisions lightly. That will be posted on Patreon probably 10, 11 o'clock tonight. I'm going to a soccer game tonight. That's why I started early. Okay, Denny Valentino, what 2 games do you think are most likely to end underdog under? What do you mean? Are you talking about the point total and like an underdog winning? Yeah, let me get to where my over-under video, because you guys, the over-unders, it's tough for me to remember them because I don't like betting them too much. Okay, let me get to it. I actually like the under in Minnesota-Detroit. I don't like the underdog to win in that game, if that's what you're asking, Denny. But I like the under in Minnesota-Detroit. It's 46.5. Let me check what it's at right now. Let's load that up. Let's load Vegas Insider up. Okay, it's still at 46.5. We didn't see any line movement. So that's one that I liked. Washington at Vegas at 49.5 was one that was kind of sexy to me. And And of course, I do like Washington in that game. Still deciding whether to bet on it or not. But I do like the under. But I could be wrong on that game because I know that game's going to be close. And then someone in the Patreon chat was asking for like the best 2-team teaser. Man, I definitely want to work Washington into it. And then I do want to work. I actually want to bring the Colts down. The more I think about it, the more I want to bring the Colts down to like -2. I think that would be the best 2-team teaser. This is from the White Strahan 87. I like the name, bro. Debo and Fred Warner weren't looking good to play last I've heard. Okay. We can live without Fred Warner because Seattle's not running the ball good at all. So, like, I'm not too worried about that side of the ball from San Fran. I'm still worried about their secondary, but Russell needs a run game because that offensive line will get destroyed by Bosa and company. That Bosa and company are starting to actually play good up front. So we've seen that transition. Okay, Debo. And Debo, yes, it's a problem, but I think people overrate Seattle's defense still. Did you see how easy Taylor Heineke was moving the ball? We the people, Mixon and Taylor, 2+ touchdowns. Yeah, I could see Mixon going off, but yeah, Jonathan Taylor, he's probably going to go off against the Texans. Texans defense isn't that bad, though, but they're going to spend the whole game on the field. Let me get some more water. My mouth's pretty damn dry. I got one of those water coolers, man. One of those water buckets, man. It's pretty nice. Okay, let's get to Sean Sima, favorite 2-team teaser this week. I gave it to you, but I will be posting one on Patreon. I just gave you one off the top of my head if you heard it, Sean. This is from Andre Daniels. John, do you really think the Bears have a chance? If Justin Fields plays, I think they have a chance. Because let me go into this Arizona game. I mean, you guys can laugh at me, but we've won a lot of money with the Bears this year, and I know they suck, and I don't know why people think I think the Bears are a good team because I picked them to cover spreads. Like, it's just because you cover spreads in this league doesn't mean you're a good team. But with that being said, Justin Fields, look at that Pittsburgh film. And there's been flashes from Justin Fields. And sure, Andy Dalton put up good stats against the Detroit Lions, but who hasn't put up good stats against Detroit this year? And when you look at Arizona, they're getting healthy. And they were actually able to buy time with Colt McCoy. I was pretty impressed about it. It's nothing to smug your nose at how they were actually able to beat the 49ers with Colt McCoy. Now they're getting Kyler back. Now they're getting DeAndre Hopkins back. But I worry about the rhythm on Arizona's offense. I also worry about Arizona's defense. Now this isn't the type of team to test Arizona's defense. But if Justin Fields play, man, I think I think with Justin Fields, I think +8, +9 is a bit too much, especially in Soldier Field. Let's look up the weather in Soldier Field. 1 second. Let me look that up. Weather on Sunday. Okay, let's see. It's going to be 8 degrees Celsius, 47 degrees Fahrenheit, 80% chance of rain. Dude, that's Bears football weather. That's not going to be nice to throw the ball in. And look at this. Wind's going to be 18 miles per hour. And they don't call it the Windy City for no reason. I've been to Soldier Field before. And when I went, the wind was only 12 miles per hour. But like Ralph Wilson, the way the stadium's situated creates a wind tunnel. And then also, Soldier Field is one of the last stadiums in this league that uses a real grass surface. Heinz Field comes to mind. Miami comes to mind, and that slows teams down. And then you add precipitation, and that creates a bad environment. Let's see what happens this game, man. Someone's asking about the under. Let's go look at the under. Right now, Vegas Insider has the under at 43.5. It's pretty low. I would stay away from that. Especially if you think it's going to be a close game. Like if you think Arizona's going to come in here and win like 30-7, I mean, that's a possibility because the bald fraud Matt Nagy, we know he's brought his team into games unprepared. Let's just be realistic. Like that Ravens game, they were completely unprepared. Luckily, we were able to cover that spread still, but that was one that really pissed me off about him. It's really low, man. It's really low. Okay, let's get to the Patreon questions. Joseph Ware says, thank you for what you do, King Lawson. Anytime, Joe. I appreciate you guys, man, because listen, the good thing is that we were able to build a community. I don't have 1 million subscribers, but I got a pretty good amount of subscribers, got a lot of high IQ people. So we don't waste time with a bunch of baloney. We just talk about what can make us money and what to avoid so we don't get the chlamydia burn on Sunday. That's pretty much what this podcast is about. And then listen, on Patreon, dude, I don't charge a lot for the bet. Some people act like that means I don't have a good record. No. I mean, just look at winning record week after week. And it's a battle every week. It's not easy. I never came on here and said it's easy, but you guys supporting with the Patreon, you give me more time. Like last night, I was watching the Jets-Texans film because you guys award me the time so I don't have to go do a day job. And that's what gambling affords me too. It's just a constant flow of money, but we have to be patient, and you can't let one loss get into your head and you start questioning yourself. It's human nature to start questioning yourself. You guys had me questioning myself about that Bengals-Pittsburgh Steelers game last week. Not talking to you individually if it's not you, but you guys had me thinking that, and you guys had me thinking that the money pick for the Packers wasn't a good money pick. That's why I got to trust my instincts and just stay calm and not try to overreact. Like people were acting like the Colts damn near won a Lombardi because they beat up on a Bills team that wasn't tough enough, wasn't physical enough, and showed little to no gusto. And we're acting like Jonathan Taylor's like damn fucking Walter Payton. Last week it got a little bit too much for me. All right, let's go to the Patreon questions. This is from Matt Jamma. My man Lawson, can you give me your read on the Falcons-Bucs game? Do you think an upset is on the cards? Also, what is your read on the Raiders no-names game? I want to pick the Raiders in this game, but I'm hesitant because of the current form of their opponents. Thanks for everything you do, my man. Let's keep the win streak going. Yeah, what's up, Mac? Longtime Patreon subscriber there. Listen, Mac. Raiders no names is going to be close. It's going to be a dogfight. If you bet that, you better be prepared. You prepare your heart. That's a phrase they say in Brazil, like before a big game or something like that. Prepare your heart because, bro, you're going to be sweating and it's going to come down to the fourth quarter, and the +2 will probably be the difference in that game. Like I think Washington wins the game, man. And like I said last week with the Seattle-Washington game, I didn't have a great read on it. But I did tell you what I thought would be the difference. I said, who's going to run the ball better? And I'm asking that same question to you guys right now. Who's going to run the ball better? For me, I never really liked this Raiders offensive line going into this year. I think they lost 3 or 4 starters. Richie Incognito hasn't really played that much. And you're getting a Washington team that is getting back to basics. Earlier in the year, Heineke was throwing like 35, 40 times a game, and we won money exploiting Riverboat Ron for that. But you could see the game plan against Seattle was quite a bit different. We're going to pound it. We're going to pound it. We're going to do play action, and we're going to try to throw to Logan Thomas and Terry McLaurin and pray they catch it and pray Taylor Heineke puts it somewhere close so those two thoroughbreds can go up and get it. And you're looking at a Raiders team that plays into the box. Now, let's look at this Washington defense. We know Chase Young is out, okay? But look at the way their defensive line is playing. Look at the way Allen's playing in that interior. I don't know how much Josh Jacobs and the Raiders are going to be able to pound them. And I know everyone's excited about the Raiders. And listen, I was excited about the Raiders like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. But I think that money train, you know, we used to win a lot of money with them. But that money faucet has dried up. And the Dallas game isn't enough to change my interpretation of that. This Raiders offense plays in a box. And the way you want to attack Washington, you want to go 3, 4 wide receivers. You want to sling that thing around the park. You want to test their safeties. Landon Collins out, but that's one guy you want to test. You don't want him lurking around the box, or you're not going to run it at all. So you got to throw it deep against Washington. You have to attack them with gusto, and I don't think the Raiders do it. Waller's banged up, and we know Renfro can play, but come on, man. When the deep target on the outside is Zay Jones, that's simply not good enough. Like, the Raiders are in such a desperate situation without Ruggs. They should have been on the phone with Ted Ginn to get him out of retirement. I'm not saying Ted Ginn is good, but he can do one thing. He can run forward fast, and if you throw a deep ball to him and the safety's not over the top, you got a pretty high completion rate. Let's get it. Jay Loyalty. Colts are better than you think, bro, but they weren't better than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, were they? They weren't better than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You guys were talking blowout on here. You weren't even talking about the Colts winning the game. You were talking about blowout, like they're going to blow them out with Carson Wentz. And they blew like a 17, 20-point lead at home, and they play in a trash division. And they beat the Bills, so, oh, they're great. They beat the Bills. And that was over-emotional. And now they're going to beat the Texans, and then everyone's going to get excited again. It was the same thing I was telling you guys about the Rams. Same thing I was telling you about the Rams. Like, yo, when the Texans come into town, you know, when a bottom place team comes into town, yeah, Rams are whipping it. Rams are going to whip the Jags this week, and everyone gets excited again. But it's not real opposition. It just isn't. And in this league, you're going to play real opposition. And I just don't know how good the Colts are. I mean, you do have Carson Wentz, and one thing you have to know about this league, it's like not the 80s. You can stack the box with the athletes in this day and age, and you can stop the run. I'm a Minnesota Vikings fan. I've seen it firsthand when they had Adrian Peterson in the top 5 offensive line. The team really wanted to get serious and stop it, and it was a well-coached team. They can stop it. I don't know if the Colts outplayed them, because you can't turn the ball over in this league, and Brady wasn't turning the ball over. Gronkowski wasn't fumbling. Like, at a certain point, you have to just look at a team when you're in a close game, what it comes down to playmakers. And then also, this Colts defensive line, they weren't able to break down Tampa Bay's offensive line. And Tampa Bay's offensive line wasn't even close to full strength. I mean, we can agree to disagree. I mean, I've won money with the Colts this year. And listen, there's nothing wrong with the Colts. It's just, I really think you guys erred on that one. And I told you at the time, and I called the shot. I called the same shot on the Packers game. Like, listen, just because you missed one game doesn't mean I'm smarter than you, or doesn't mean you're smarter than me. It means absolutely nothing. But I thought that Tampa Bay Colts game was really, like, just to decide, like, who's for real at that, and who's really ready to do this thing, and then who's going to get swept up with over emotion and media hype and ESPN dribble. That was my perspective. And the Rams-Packers game was the same way. Everyone was lining up on the Rams, and I was sitting on the island with my Wilson volleyballs just yelling Packers Super Bowl like I've been yelling for the last 3 weeks ever since Aaron the Game Rodgers took his heel turn. Yeah, Colts should have won the game, but they didn't because they turned the ball over. And Tampa Bay made the proper plays at the proper time. And Tampa Bay did win that by 7 points. I believe so. And the Colts just had this lucky last second return to make it look closer than it got. They got annihilated, and you can't blow leads in this league. You got John. You're telling me the Colts are some sort of superb running team, and Jonathan Taylor's Walter Payton and all that stuff, but they're up 17 points. And they can't kill the clock against the Tampa Bay team with injuries. Tampa Bay team with 3 offensive linemen dinged up. I think one guy even got carted off in the middle of the game. Yeah, turnovers and penalties, man. They're going to get you. And then with Brady, you do get some calls, but that's part of betting. You have to know when the ref ball comes into play. You will get ref ball in this league, unfortunately. I saw some things not called on the Colts. It's just how it goes. But with Brady, you're going to get the better rub of the calls. That's just the way it is. And we all know the rules of the game going in. That's just how it's been for the last 10 years with him. Okay. And yes, future bet Packers Super Bowl. I called that 3 weeks ago, and I'm not getting off of that. Although I got to hear your guys' opinion. Are you guys a little bit nervous with that? For instance, here's what makes me nervous. I called my dad last night to ask his opinion. If the Packers play the Bucs in the NFC Championship, who do you guys give the edge to? Are we going to just see what happened last year where the Packers didn't do enough to help Aaron the Game Rodgers? Amor, você pode trazer água? You know, penso você pode evitar. Obrigado. All right, let's get to the Patreon questions. I want to read the people's comments. The Fact says, let's get this money. Let's get it, my guy. Let's get it. I got to see what you guys write in the Patreon. I got to see what you guys write. Bucks. Carlos says Bucks. New England and Tampa. I'm getting nervous about New England being able to get this. I'm really nervous about it. Yeah, man. Lunatic, man. I'm excited about Cincy this week. I'm excited. Melrose Drip. Broncos will win, cover, maybe even win the AFC West battle. That's bold. I'll tell you what, though. There's no secondary in this league playing better than the Broncos secondary right now. The way they're playing press man-to-man, the way they're slanging zone blitzes at people, the way it looks like the defense got better without Von Miller. I mean, some of this stuff is absolutely crazy. It's just, thank you. Some of this stuff is absolutely crazy, man. So, all right, let's get to the Patreon questions. This is from Robert Robertson. And yes, Robert, I unblocked you on Instagram. Yes, I did. So you can follow my comings and goings. He says, okay, that wasn't a question, my man. Okay, but what's up? Shout out to Robert. What's up, Robert? Christopher says, salute to the Patreon fam. What's up, Chris? Yeah, man. It's been fun on Patreon, man. We go wild on there. On Sunday, I wake up when I get more pressure on Patreon than when I was coaching football in Florida, which is kind of crazy because where I was coaching was where all the NFL players come from. There's a place called the Muck. It's above Miami. It's nasty. It's near Okeechobee Lake, and the only thing good there is football. Here we go. This is from Efren Vargas Jr. What's up? What's up, Mr. Vargas? What's up, dude? Hey, what's up, Lawson? Can you give me an opinion? I think this is a solid parlay teaser. Cincy plus 4.5, edit. Vikings money line, I like it. Colts money line, Rams money line, under 53 Niners and Seahawks. Giants plus 11. Do you agree with me on this one? I like it. But you could run into some problems with the Niners and Seahawks under 53 and the Giants plus 11. I think you already have the Colts on it, so you can't really work that down. I understand why you wouldn't want to add Denver to that, but I don't like the Giants plus 11 just due to the Mike Glennon effect. Is Mike Glennon playing or is Daniel Jones playing? Does it even make a difference at this point? Like, I thought we were going to see a response out of that Giants offense, but let's be realistic. Philadelphia's offense lost that game. Yeah, parlays, man. Like, that one was actually good. Like, I like that one. It's just the last two, my antennas went up, and I'm like, bro, you're going to get screwed on one of those two. You just are. Yeah, Nikisha, I like the Dolphins to win in the cover. Yeah, Robert, you're on my Instagram again. It's exclusive territory. I don't do it, dude. It's really cheap here, though. Really, really cheap. I don't do it, believe it or not. I'm just always bouncing off walls. And, what's up, Dave? What do Patreons do after the NFL season? There's going to be, like last year, we were at like kind of the same number when the season ended. And so pretty much like, it like 800 stuck with me for the soccer. I got really hot on the soccer last year, so that helped. But yeah, I bet soccer on there, but you guys won't hurt my feelings if you log off because if you bet NFL, I can't force bet NBA. I'm trying to get more into NBA because I do UFC. I'm trying to get more into UFC. I'm trying to find another niche to bet. I got soccer and NFL, and that's enough. But a lot of people who are my fan base, they just don't like soccer. And, when you bet something, you want to be able to watch it, right? And you want to be able to run it off me because, there's going to be some stuff I say that obviously isn't right. And there's going to be some stuff that you can add if you're watching the same games I'm watching. That's why I like coming on here on Friday because dude, you guys watch games. You guys, that's why I respect you guys. So yeah, the Colt stuff, I'm going to give you it, but you guys give me tons of shit. So it is what it is. Okay, let's get to Eldad. Okay, Nurse Devin. What's up, Nurse Devin? Raiders money line, or do you think Washington will pull the upset? Nurse Devin, I think Washington +2. Listen, this Raiders thing just didn't go the way I wanted it to. I have a lot of subscribers that are Raiders fans, and I know they've kind of tuned me out. But I gotta tell it like I see it. And like I said earlier, I think that game comes down to who runs the ball better. And the Raiders' interior defensive linemen aren't too good. And I really like Allen on the no-names defensive line. I think they're able to stop Josh Jacobs. And Carr, he's played good this year. But where's Henry Ruggs? Where's a deep threat? We know where Henry Ruggs is, unfortunately. But listen, and you guys, some people thought I was callous and cold when the Henry Ruggs news broke, and I just wanted to talk about football. And I thought it had a bigger football element than people were saying. Like, and I'll use this example like I did earlier. There's a reason why Ted Ginn played like 13, 14 years in this league. It wasn't because he was good at running routes. It wasn't because he had good hands. It was because he could run fast in a straight line. And if a quarterback throws a deep one to him, if the safety creeps down, you got a 50-50 chance of getting something deep. You put a guy in like Zay Jones, that doesn't help Carr. And Waller's banged up. What's up? What's up? Winston Santana, hello from Perth, Amboy, New Jersey. #1 fan. Keep up the good work. Thank you, man. Thank you. Let's get this money. And I haven't been in New Jersey in a while. I'm going to bring my girl to the United States this summer. I'm thinking about going down to Wildwood, New Jersey. Because I love the beach, man, and I think there's some hidden gems in New Jersey. I know it has a bad reputation, but I've had good experiences there. Okay, let's get to let's get to some more Patreon questions. Yeah, you guys are going hard today. You guys are going hard. The chat's just good, man. Yeah, Waller's officially out, my guy. Is Waller officially out? First of all, let me ask that to you guys. And let me get a thing of water. Dude, I drink so much water here because it's like 90 degrees every day. And there will be a soccer bet up on Patreon tonight. It's not one to go all in for. Like, for instance, you guys know on NFL games, anything I post, I'm betting at least 300, 400, 500 on, because that's where my bankroll's at. You guys got to make sure you're betting within your bankroll so you can keep building it up. And once you build up your bankroll, then you're going to make real money. And the soccer game, I just put $60 on it. I'll be posting that on Patreon. I'll actually give it to people here. Fortaleza to win against Juventude. Let me write it. Yeah, I probably would not. Yeah, I probably won't go to Atlantic City. I haven't been there in a long time. Yo, what's up, C-Spill? I haven't seen you in a minute, man. Let's get some money. Let's get some money. Wade says Daniel Jones is out. Okay, Wade, you were asking something on Patreon or Instagram. I forget where you're asking it or where your comment was. Let me address it. The Patreon contest for the playoffs will be like this. We're going to use a computer system this time, okay? And if you're on Patreon, you'll get a passcode. You'll get a password to go in and pick games for every week. Whoever has the best record after the Super Bowl, we're going to do over-unders. We're going to do the spreads, and we're going to do outright, and I'm going to combine the records. Whoever has the most is going to get $400. Second place, still thinking about it, $150, and third place, $50. I haven't got the prices yet, but first place is I'm going to up the ante. I'm going to up the ante for the next one since it's more games involved. So let's see what we're doing with that. Janice Stasulis. I like this question. My bad. I didn't want to skip anyone in the Patreon line, but I like this question. Greetings, Lawson. You have like a name from like Lithuania, by the way. That's a beautiful country, beautiful people too. Great at basketball. I don't know what happened to their basketball team. I used to win money betting them like in the Euros all the time. But maybe you're from Poland. I don't know. The name's just Lithuanian. Greetings, Lawson. You are making your bets amazing games as they is, skills and so on. What you think about stats gamblers? This time beat that time 4 times in a row. So, yeah, that stuff's stupid. There's some stats, like I do listen to some stats before I do the over-unders. That's just because Vegas has gotten so good and that the over-unders are kind of like foolproof. They're all done with stats. But yes, Vegas does set the spreads with stats now, but there's still 10 or 12 intelligent men sitting in a room and picking apart the stats. I can pick apart any stat, okay? And I actually used to be very good in college, and one thing I could always do, you throw a stat at me, I can pick it apart. And a lot of stats mean nothing. And that's why I like betting the NFL. I like betting soccer, because these sports stats don't tell the story. When you're fighting for territory with another man, there's only so many stats you can have. Like, how many stats can you have for MMA? Like, and when you're looking at the NFL, it's more about the swing and tempo of the game. The stats won't help you. And then also, people were trying to bet Seattle against Washington because Seattle has a good record on Monday night and because they have a good record on the road. And they won damn near 3 games this year. They won 3 games this year. We're talking about 2016. We're talking about 2018. Yo, if you don't feel confident enough to bet the Seahawks based on what you've seen this whole year, based on all the film we've been available, and it's available for free on the internet, you shouldn't be betting, because you're just trying to rationalize something with stats. Like, dude, used to rationalize everything with stats. Like, you could rationalize slavery with stats. You could rationalize buildings falling in the United States with stats. Oh, it's normal. It's got a 1 in 1,000 chance to happen. Like, that stuff is just weak. That stuff is lazy. The stat stuff becomes lazy at a certain point. Prepararse to a chorus sound. Yeah, dude, prepare your heart. When Fortaleza's down to -122, that's good. Because when I placed the bet, it was at -140. Oh, Latvia. Dude, I know a little bit about every country. I'm just a naturally curious guy, dude. And that's why sometimes on Instagram, I'll just go like ask people where they're from. Because I got a lot of people outside the United States who watch, but also in the United States, it's such a big country. Like, every city's got like a different vibe. Like, a dude from Memphis is going to be completely different from a dude in Seattle. And yeah, man, there's a lot of good places in this world. Always been curious about that stuff. Let's get to the Patreon questions. Okay, Caesar. $750 2-team parlay. Them boys and under 46.5 cashed out. Bro, they almost killed you. Did you see that stuff going on at the end of the game last night? Jeez. Caesar's ready for Sunday. Let's get the money, Caesar. Thanks for subscribing on Patreon. David Bolanos. Bengals, Dolphins, Vikings, 49ers, and already cashed with them boys. 5-game moneyline parlay. I like the Bengals money line. I like the Dolphins money line, Vikings money line, 49ers money line. Dave, I don't want to jinx you, but that should hit. But this is the NFL. One team's not going to show up out of a list of 5 games. Like, listen, if a team comes in and gets beat, I don't get mad. I just don't like what we saw out of Carolina last week where they didn't show up. That's the problem I have. Al, I actually agree about that. The Saints should have covered it. And I went on Instagram and I'm like, dude, this Saints defense played really good. They battled, but Taysom Hill's so bad. And when you don't have a quarterback in this league, it's just going to slow everything down for you. It's going to kill you. It's going to kill you. Yeah. And you have to look at like the psychology of the team at the moment. And some teams, they hang it up early. And some teams fight till late, even if they're out of it. Yeah, Nick, I'm a little bit worried about Debo, Warner, and Greenlaw out. And there's going to be cause for pause. Maybe that will bring the line back down to -3. Well, we're never going to see it get back to -2.5 again. I think too many, not saying we moved the line, but there's going to be people like us who bet larger sums of money, 10K, 20K. Listen, I know of 4 high rollers, people who bet over 10K a game who watch this show. So Unfortunately, they live at or around Vegas, so they pump a lot of the stuff I pump. So I don't think we're moving the lines with this channel, but we are up to pretty much 17K people. So there's that. I don't want to be paranoid though. I was just really disappointed with how quick it moved. I go record the video, I put the video on YouTube, then it moves a point. It gets frustrating. This is from Louis Moreno. What up, Louis? Don't you think the 49ers minus 3.5 looks too good to be true? Trap game, perhaps. It does, but there is one thing that is consistent in this league. Oh, two things. People like Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Pat Fro Mahomes, they are consistent entities in this league. Another consistent entity in this league is defensive end play and run game. If you're able to run the ball better than whoever you play, especially now that we're in December, we're getting to the playoffs, you got to think San Fran runs the rock better than Seattle. And a lot of people are getting at Russell America Wilson and criticizing him. Like, I get it, bro. But one thing I don't get is how bad the Seahawks running game is. It's almost like their offensive line is as bad as it was 5 years ago. It really is. Miguel, I already went off on the Raiders-Washington game a lot. But listen, I don't think the Raiders make enough big plays in this game. And I know Taylor Heineke sucks. But the no-names have changed their philosophy. They're just pounding it and using play action. And McLaurin, Logan Thomas, they can make enough plays if the run game is good. And I am nervous about this Raiders offensive line because, yes, Washington doesn't have Chase Young. But one thing about Washington is their interior is nasty. I'm pretty sure Matt Ioannidis is going to play. Like, they got nasty guys in the middle, and a lot of people talk about Aaron Donald, but I'll tell you what, Allen in the interior of Washington's defensive line, he's playing just as good. Like, here's two guys who aren't getting enough attention this year: Fletcher Cox and Allen on the Washington no-names. I mean, both. Look at the Eagles, man. Look at how much money we've won off the Eagles this year when everyone's just shit on them. And a big part is Fletcher Cox. The interior defensive line play is necessary to stop the run. It just is. Yeah, I mean, people are going to be excited on the Raiders. I just don't know if they've replaced Henry Ruggs, and I don't know if throwing to Zay Jones is something that is productive in this league. Oh, money line Washington. They probably were the whole week, but let me. There's one guy in the chat earlier. He wanted to bet the Jags, and he told me to prove him wrong. I mean, listen, if the Jags actually had some offense going, they could. Because the Jags defense, they don't look good stats-wise, but this is one reason why stats lie. Jags defense spends the most time on the field more than any other team in this league, so how can you accurately judge a defense? It's like saying the Saints defense is worse than the Cowboys defense last night. No. You know what I'm saying? That's one reason why stats aren't that good. Yeah, man, I'm excited for this week. Appreciate the energy on here. You guys are bringing good energy. Okay, let's get to it. Yeah. No, and I think, I think this Dolphins game is an example of why some people like to early bet. Marco Giano, new to Patreon. How do I donate to you? That's the donation, bro. It's just the $5. I don't like asking people for money like that because a lot of people charge like $200 for picks a week. It's ridiculous, and my record's better than them. So it's a freaking joke. It really is. But I have a Cash App. Go to any description of my video. If you want to donate, you can send it on Cash App. But the Patreon, man, is a good donation, $5. And in the United States, dude, you walk out just to take a breath of air, they damn near charge you $5. So that was the goal. People keep telling me, dude, why don't you have it at $10, $15? Why didn't you do that? You could make a ton of money. No, dude, I just need to make what I need to make to live. Gambling takes care of the rest of the stuff. And you guys share the videos like crazy. That's how you donate to me. Share it on Facebook. Share it with your family. Too much politics on Facebook anyways, dude. I haven't used that stuff for like 6 years, but share it there. Get your family talking about something else other than politics. That stuff is cancer, bro. Okay, let's get to Patreon question. This is from Jack Benebel. Zona, 2-team teaser. Tampa -4, Colts -2, Buck 7. Okay. Okay, Jack, your question is about the Dolphins. Yes, we've won a lot of money with the Dolphins this year, and you guys know, especially people who've watched the show a long time, there's no other quarterback in this league I hate more than Mike Glennon. And if you guys can remember, he was actually getting hype from people 4 or 5 years ago, thinking he could be a starter. Stay away from the Dolphins. But I like that teaser. Just be careful with Tampa. I think getting Tampa down to -4 is good enough. I don't know if you guys saw the news today with Antonio Brown and Edwards being suspended for the fake stuff. I don't want to say the word. I don't want to get shadow banned. I don't think that has big ramifications. I think they're going to let Antonio Brown come back, and I think that's Brady's team. I don't think Bruce Arians is the one making the decisions like that. Like, I don't think Bruce is going to take Antonio Brown away from Brady. But as for that game, yeah, man, I like both of those teasers. It's just your instincts are right about the Dolphins. I don't even know if that's worth teasing down to a pick 'em. And let me check that. Let me double check. Let me get some water, and I need to check that. Okay. Yeah, you got to filter that stuff. Dude, last time I was here, I visited Brazil a lot in my life, but last time I was here, I'm just like, bro, I'm going to just use the regular water because I drink about 2 liters of water a day, believe it or not. Anyways, so I did that and it kind of messed me up, and don't want to go into details, but yeah, dude, they did. Yeah, that's exactly what we're talking about. Don't want to go on to it. I appreciate it, man. And I try, dude. And, there's going to be a bad week eventually, but I think we've only had 2 bad weeks out of the 13 weeks so far. And honestly, I'll take that. I want to be perfect every week, though. We have AC. It's just the energy is a problem here. I can pay it. I just have to put in air conditioning. I just bought this apartment last week, so I'm just slowly moving things in. Kenny Dorsey, which 2 teams you have going to the Super Bowl this year? Packers, that's one I've been confident on. I don't know how they're going to make it through Tampa Bay, but there's just something a little bit magical about the Packers this year. Something a little bit magical. Also, in the AFC, it's wide open. And I'm going with what I picked preseason, Chiefs. And Chiefs is a team people got way too over emotional about this whole year. I've been saying, okay, we know the Chiefs defense is bad, but they do get better as the year goes on, and they do have one of the best interior players in this league in Chris Jones. Spagnuolo knows what he's doing on defense. Sometimes you have to wait for teams to get better over time. When you got coaches like Big Red Andy Reid, when you got Pat Mahomes on that damn sideline, you can't count them out. I don't care how bad their team is, you just can't count them out. You just can't count them out. So that's where I'm at. I'm going Chiefs. I'm going Packers. There is a big possibility, though, that the Patriots steal this. I'm just saying. I'm one of the biggest Patriots doubters you'll find on the internet. And listen, I'm worried about this Patriots balance on offense. They're running the ball good. They're using play action, and Mac Jones isn't making mistakes. Do they kick a little bit too many field goals when they get down to the red zone? Probably. But the way their defense is playing, Bill Belichick is making like Matt Judon look like 2002 Michael Strahan. I mean, it is absolutely phenomenal. And that's one reason why I'm getting worried about the Patriots. And if they keep winning games, they're going to get home games in the playoffs at Foxborough. And that's why this Bills-Patriots game is so big. I don't want to be over dramatic or melodramatic because both of these teams will end up making it into the playoffs. But is it just me, or is this Patriots-New England game the biggest regular season game we've had all this year? You can go to Rams, Packers, I guess. You could go to Tampa against the Packers. But for me, this is one of the biggest this year. I have Colts -10, Miami -5, and Bengals -3. I'm a little bit nervous about Miami. A -10's a lot for the Colts to cover. They should be able to cover it. They should be able to. But it is an awful lot. Like, there's a lot of points there that you need. Miami should be able to do that, though. And the Colts, they'll probably beat the living hell out of the Texans. I just always have caution when I see -10s, -11s. Because the math isn't working in your favor, no matter how shit the team is they're playing. But also, some of you guys have different betting philosophies. For instance, I remember you guys were excited about Rams like -14.5 against the Texans, and you guys hit it. I stayed off of it. It's just because when you see point spreads like that, you want to go +14, not -14. Long term. But if you have a good read on it, that's it. I bet Bill Belichick Coach of the Year at 20-1. It could be if they keep winning. I do think they should give it to Cliff Kingsbury, though. I've never been a big Cliff Kingsbury guy, but if he's able to navigate out of this NFC West, don't we have to tip the fedora at a certain point? Like I said, I'm not a big Cliff Kingsbury fan, but we have to give him so much credit. Let's finish the Patreon questions. Then I'm going to get to the YouTube questions. This is from Dove10565. What's up, Dove? Can you please explain why you think the No Names is a better bet than the Raiders? Yo, I went into this like way too much today. We dedicated way too much time to that game. I'm going to look. Yeah, okay, you do have a good question. Can't it be about hype? Okay, so Dove's trying to say maybe people are getting over emotional about Washington. Because they beat the Seahawks. But aren't people doing the same thing with the Raiders because they beat the Cowboys? I mean, and the Raiders are a team, they're really, really inconsistent. Washington's actually starting to find some consistency. We pretty much know what we're going to see out of them. And Washington is a completely different team than they were earlier in the year. They did think they were going to have Fitzpatrick as their quarterback, and they wanted to throw it more. And they're trying to throw it a ton with Taylor Heineke. Now they're actually just Washington's playing 80s football on offense. They're running the ball, play action, being patient. Now, if the Raiders come in and clamp down this run, That's fine. But I don't know if the Raiders are going to be able to run it against Washington. And even though I support Carr more than other people, are there enough playmakers? Are there enough weapons? Is there enough gusto? And we saw a drop off with the Raiders. They got the initial boost once Gruden left. But after that, they're not getting a lot. And a lot of people like to shit on Gruden, and that's fine. But you guys should show respect to Gruden, especially if you've been listening to this podcast 2 or 3 years. You know how much money that man has made us? Do you know how much money Gruden has put into our pockets? But yeah, there's always emotion involved with these things. I just gave you pretty much the most unemotional, most boring reason why I think Washington wins the game. It's not sexy. It's not anything crazy. It's just who's going to play better fundamental football, who's going to win the turnover battle. With Taylor Heineke, there's always a risk. But as you can see, Scott Turner and Riverboat Ron, they've changed that scheme a lot. What's up, C. James? What's up, Ben Dixon? What's up, Dave? What's up, Erica? How you been, Erica? What's up, Al? What's up, Amiri? Or Amari, but either way, that's a cool name. I like the avatar. The White Strahan, what's up? What's up, Don Soliar? Oh, I like that name, dude. That sounds like a suave guy. He's good with talking to the ladies. Like he wears like the button-up shirt, but he has like 4 buttons undone with like a nice little gold pendant. Don Solier, I like that one. Any read of a bye is good, but doesn't mean they cover. Dude, Don. A bye week isn't the same this year or during the COVID era as ever. Teams are actually worse after the bye. There's no methodology to that. There's no methodology. And also, bye weeks, you can't practice. So the whole teams outside of the country, the only guys who go to the team facility during the bye week are coaches and guys who need a test for COVID who are unvaxxed. That's the only thing the bye week is. And you see teams losing rhythm more with bye weeks. Then it helps. Yeah, dude, Erica, every week's a goddamn battle, man. Every week is a battle, but we keep coming out on top. It's just nothing's ever easy. And these games are never easy. Ron, I would bet the spread. I'm actually a really good person with numbers. I have a photographic memory. I can remember specific stats very easily, but the over-under stuff is kind of for the birds. Some people are really good at it. I am good at it once people count up the aggregate 14, 12 games a week. A guy has been counting up my over-under record. But it's just the hard part is pushing a button on Patreon and sending my people to Vegas to bet the over-unders. If you guys know what I'm saying. C. James, Lawson, curiosity question. How did you know when you could bet sports for a living at a certain record, certain bankroll? When I got up to an 11K bankroll, after taking out 3,000 one time and 3,000 a year before. So 1 year I made 3,000. 1 year I ended up making 8,000, and then the bankroll ended up growing to 11,000 with me taking money out for expenses. This is when I still had a job. I actually used to be a special education teacher because I wanted to coach football. So that's what I wanted to do. But it ended up becoming more trouble than it was worth. And once I was able to dedicate the time that I needed, I knew I could do it. I've been dabbling with NFL gambling since I was like 12, 13 years old. Like my dad wouldn't let me go straight bet games and put 500 on the 49ers against the Seahawks or anything like that. But he'd let me do a ticket every week. And I really used to love college football when I was a kid too, religiously. From Saturday to Sunday, I would just watch football the whole week. I wouldn't even fucking move. It was kind of pathetic. But, that's because we love this game, dude. Yeah, dude, it's all about the living expenses. And that's why I'm in Brazil, because I want to live a high quality life in a high quality situation in a safe place. And one day I do want to have a family in the United States, dude. In California, I could get a job making $300,000 a year and I wouldn't really have anything to show for it. I just think the United States is too expensive to live. So you guys have to really be careful about your bankroll and try to own a house or your living situation before, because you know how they're complaining about the food prices in the United States, bro. Whatever, like it sucks, but people can live with that. My problem there, and we don't need to go on a rant, but my problem is the housing prices in the United States. There's no plan to fix it. No one wants to fix it. And now what has been happening in the last 2 years, hedge funds are getting into it. So hedge funds are the ones actually selling the houses. You know how it used to be, like a realtor, the flashy guy or the beautiful lady would come in and they would buy 2 or 3 houses, they would flip it, they would make their profit, and then the price wouldn't rise too high. But now hedge funds are holding them. Like, listen, my sister, you guys know where I'm from in New York State, upstate New York, not a sexy place, not the greatest place to live. We don't got a beach. All we got is good pizza. That's all we got. And safety. That's all we got. She bought a house for 110K, 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms with a basement. Good. It's fine. That's all she needs. But the problem is she bought it for 110K. This about maybe 14 months ago. The price is at 198K now. You guys see this game, man? It's not a game I want to participate in. And you need family support kind of to get a house at this point. And so yeah, that's where it's at, man. And that's why I think you guys should start learning another language and just try to get out of that mess. And also Bitcoin did help me. Didn't make a lot of money on it. We watch NFL in Dubai too. Yeah, man, it's growing. And American football, man, for me is the best sport. I got respect for so many sports, but this sport is so damn good, man. And I just like the physicality. Money. What's up, Rafa? Let's get this money, man. Let's get this money. Okay, let me get to the Patreon questions. Make sure you hit the like button. Yo, I'm actually thinking type in below. I'm actually thinking we should do this more often at 2 in the afternoon. I kind of like it. What time did we start? Yeah, we started at 2 in the afternoon, right? I was a little bit late, but yeah, it was definitely good. Okay. So I got some more questions on Patreon. Let me work through them. Johnny Gonzalez, am I crazy for thinking Pittsburgh wins this game outright? No. Baltimore is so bad right now, and it seems like Pittsburgh is finally getting in sync. Yeah, but that blowout last week. Plus, playing in the Steel City is not an easy task. Yeah, Johnny, we're seeing the same thing. I'm not going to go full gusto and full King Kong and say, back Pittsburgh money line. But now, let me see what it's at. Last I saw, it's up to plus 5.5, correct? Let me just go to Vegas Insider and double check. Okay, it moved back down. It moved back down to 4.5. Shit. But either way, Heinz Field is a slow playing surface, and the Ravens rely on speed. Heinz Field is the slowest playing surface in this league. I don't like going into these like autism, but it's important now that we're moving to December, now that we're moving to January, now that it's getting cold. You have to respect the cold. You have to respect precipitation on regular grass fields. Not to bore anyone, my bad. Secondly, you're right. Your main opinion is why you're not crazy. Baker Mayfield is playing the worst football out of any quarterback in this league. I can say this because I've watched every single team at least 6, 7, 8 times at this point. I can say that. He is playing the worst football out of any quarterback in this league. And for the Ravens not to blow out the Browns with that performance, for the Ravens defense to come out, stop Nick Chubb, stop Kareem Hunt, for them to stop the Browns run game, and, they only win by 6 points. And it wasn't even the interceptions from Lamar Jackson. It just wasn't. Everything's out of rhythm. There's no rhythm in that offense. And when you do read option, when you do pass read op, when you do run pass options, you need rhythm. And look at that Miami film. Miami didn't do anything special. It's like that dude in Madden who keeps sending the engage 8. Miami was rushing 7 guys every play. It was man-to-man in coverage. 6, 7 guys coming every play. Man-to-man, and with that speed on the Ravens, they weren't able to pop a big play. Hell, they weren't able to pop a slant in there against man-to-man coverage with no safety in the middle. So this Ravens team is struggling. I don't know if it's a mental problem at this point. Lamar Jackson, he's going to give you what he gives you, but I think he needs more help. I think they need to run the ball. I think they need to use Latavius Murray. And then on to the Steelers, y'all. Is it just me? But type in below. Maybe I'm just going too much on the past. But is it just me? I think Mike Tomlin's defense responds. The last 2 weeks were absolutely pathetic. They weren't tough enough the last 2 weeks. We've been on the Cincinnati train all year. And even I was surprised at how our boys went out there and whooped the Steelers behind. I was shocked by it, okay? I was expecting the Bengals to win in the cover as a goddamn money pick, but for the Steelers to get blown out in that game, and then the week previous give up a 40 spot to Justin Herbert, I'm concerned, but also that can help us. Mike Tomlin's a great motivator, and I think they come out motivated. And you always have to worry about the health of Big Ben. But listen, if Najee Harris is playing, which I'm pretty sure he will, Pittsburgh should be able to run that ball decent. And if they get a decent run game, Big Ben should be able to do enough to move the change, and Pittsburgh's defense should start playing well. Hopefully another week gets TJ Watt right, because he's one of the best defensive players in the league. I don't even like the Watt brothers. Actually, TJ is awesome, from a personality perspective. I've just never liked JJ Watt. I think he's extremely fake. He's one of the guys, when he does charity, he calls the local news for them to come down. Unlike Cam Newton, when I was working in a South Carolina school, our school is literally in a trailer park. Cam Newton came to our school, and Cordero Patterson came to our school. They didn't call any cameras. They didn't want any cell phones in front of them. Just to go on a little rant. But anyways, I think Pittsburgh plays good, man. I think Pittsburgh plays good, man. Yeah, I kind of agree with what you're saying, Johnny. I don't think you're crazy. And some people, they try to get, I call it big brained or galaxy brained. Sometimes we can overthink this stuff to a point where it kills our mental drive and our mental decision making, because you can overthink stuff so much and try to big brain everything, but sometimes it gets you in trouble. But yeah, I'm sure some people are going to think it's crazy, because absolutely no one wants to bet a team after they've been blown out. But I did it with remember on the Thanksgiving game, I said money on the Bills, money on Detroit plus 3.5, lost on the Dallas game. But sometimes you got to trust your raw initial instincts. And if you're watching the film, you got to trust your eyes. Yes, we have to look at the injury reports. Yes, we have to look at different matchups, because every team matches up differently. But at the end of the day, your instincts and you watching film is what's going to decide. Because, man, the reason why I like doing this podcast, and I don't even say this to kiss your guy's ass, I like the information you provide because I know you actually watch football. It is a rare thing. Like, okay, like, you know how people act like they're experts and they don't even know what a play action pass is, or they don't even understand offensive line play or anything like that. Yeah, that stuff annoys me. But that's why I like coming on here, man. What's up, Rob? Rob, I'm gonna try, man. I'm gonna try. I'm feeling good this week. Last week was a minefield. If we could win, no one won money that last week except us. Like, I went on Instagram and I saw people like crying and stuff. I was like, bro, like, come on, man. I the money picks. You didn't even have to go on Patreon. The money picks on the regular YouTube video were legit. You just got to trust it. Okay, let's get to the Patreon questions. Anthony Babcock says, since he wins. Can't say I disagree. Peter Knox, what are your thoughts on the Chargers-Bengals game? Bengals are playing well, good run pass balance, decent defense. Yes, a decent defense that plays together, and they play like a pack of wolves. Sometimes you just want a defense with the right attitude and the right gusto, and they have home field advantage. Chargers can't stop the run. They're playing an early game on the East Coast. They're playing inconsistent. I feel like the spread should be bigger. It's because the Chargers, 1 week they're great, 1 week they're not. But I'll tell you what, if the Chargers bring their A game, I still don't think they'll beat Cincinnati, because Cincinnati has something that the Chargers don't. Physicality. When your offensive line gets torn up by Denver, where Denver doesn't even miss Von Miller, that's an issue. The second issue, and maybe the biggest issue on the Chargers, like, everyone wants to talk about Herbert, everyone wants to talk about whatnot, but my biggest issue with the Chargers is their front seven. They can't stop the run. They're not physical enough. And week in and week out, they get ran on. Even with Teddy Bridgewater last week, they were able to put 8 men in the box every single play against Denver. Denver still ran the ball down their throat with 8 men in the box, with bare fronts, with a Bosa brother and Derwin James. Dude, when you got Derwin James and Bosa on the field, those are two playmakers on defense, ball hawks, elite at their positions, but that's just how bad their interior is, and I'm not seeing any progress on them stopping the run. I'm just not seeing it. What's the over-under for Mixon for rush yards? I noticed a lot of the prop bets, they don't release to Friday. I want to get a prop video going every week as we get into the later ends of the season. Okay, let's get to the Patreon questions. Best teaser, Colts -3, Pats +9. What do you think? I like it, but I probably wouldn't go the Pats, even though I can't see how they get blown out of that game. 1 second. Okay, my bad. Okay, this is from Shane. Brother John Lawson, greetings from Dublin. Is there any value left in the NFL MVP market? Who would you take now? Tom Brady is +400, and some shrewd ears say Green Bay Rodgers again. Dude, they won't vote for Aaron Rodgers. The media does not like him. And I don't want to go into his heel churn. I don't want to go into that, like, you know, I don't want to go into that. But come on now. They're not going to vote for Rodgers, man. Brady's the guy at +400. And that Jonathan Taylor rubbish I was hearing on ESPN and NFL Network is just the biggest rubbish I've ever heard in my entire life. Okay. Part 2. Is Myles Garrett good for Defensive Player in the Year? I bet him before the season starts at 11-2, which is about +600. Enjoy the football game in Brazil. Great day. Well, with NFL Defensive Player of the Year, I think they're going to give it to Diggs. I think Trayvon Diggs is going to get it. Now, Trayvon Diggs could fall off, and Trayvon Diggs isn't an elite corner, but one thing he is an elite ball hawk. And with the amount of interceptions he's put up, I don't think you can doubt it. I just don't think you can doubt it. But yeah, Myles Garrett was a good future back at the very least. Oh, perfecto. Esto perto terminando. And final question. Sorry for so many. How many years did it take to build a solid betting bankroll? And all generated from NFL seasons. For only NFL betting, it would have took me like 3 years to build the bankroll that I needed to make money, so I didn't have to go do something, like go do a job and whatnot. If you're doing soccer or you find another niche, I expect you guys to find a niche. Like, one of my biggest niches is the second division in Brazil. But also, it doesn't need to be something that's rare. You could just find a soccer league in Spain, the English Premier League, Italy. Just focus on one niche. I got a guy, he bets Major League Lacrosse. Would I want to do that? No. I don't want my life to get to the point where I'm betting Major League Lacrosse, okay? I think that would be the low point. I think I would just start just giving up if I'm betting Major League Lacrosse. That's where we're at. Does your woman watch football with you? She tries, but she doesn't really like it that much because there's so many rules. And then also it's weird for people here because they're not used to that physicality. Like, even though people die in the street every day here, seeing a grown man get hit makes them quiver. I don't get it. She likes the field goals though. And she noticed Cairo Santos was Brazilian in that Thanksgiving game. But yeah, you know, people are getting mauled in the street here, okay? And robbed for their cell phone. But oh no, NFL's just a step too far, right? Like, you know, my wife says she's going to watch with me every Sunday, but it never happens. Yeah, and I think she'll eventually watch with you, but if it turns into a social activity, I think she would like it more. Me sitting around the house pacing because I have 3,000 in bets isn't really a person. I wouldn't want to spend time with me because I'm quick to snap. I get a little bit impatient. Yeah, that's where we're at. Oh, come on. TJ Watt's on the COVID list. Oh. Dude, this stuff, man. It's just every single week there's something. Let me see that over under for the Cincinnati Chargers game. Let's see it. I'm going to go 10 more minutes. Because I got to take a shower. And here we go. Over under 50.5. Okay. I had the game. When I picked the game, I saw it as like 27-20, 30-23, 30-27. So you should be good. I don't see a worst case scenario. Like, listen, I was right that the Chargers offense would struggle with Denver's defense, but I think they respond. And Cincinnati, like we said, we give credit to their defense, especially their attitude on defense. But at the end of the day, man, they play a lot of zone. So Herbert will be able to find more rhythm. And I think that will help. What's up, Shannon? What's up, Shannon? What's up, Mr. Fun Monk? And guys, make sure you hit the like button before you leave. Let me see it at 170 likes. Dude, that's funny. That's funny. Korean baseball and ping pong is where it's at. My goodness. My goodness. Dude, betting See, that's the type of stuff I'm saying. Like, I couldn't do the ping pong stuff, and I'm not really much of a baseball guy. Yeah, you guys could probably tell that just by my demeanor. But I'll tell you what, like getting something like the Dominican Baseball League or Korean baseball is just something you know more than other people. Here we go. I did not get your DM, Tony. I saw you sent me the link to you playing Madden, and I watched it, and I hadn't been on Instagram in like 3 hours. Dude, have a great birthday, man. Have a great birthday. Give me a 3-game parlay to bet my college fund on. Off the top of my head, Jesus. Oh, you want something that's automatic. It won't be the best payout, though. But if you're betting college fund, Minnesota money line, maybe Cincinnati -3 and Denver +10. Denver +10 has been a good one this whole week. I think people are going to sleep on it, but Denver +10 is where we're at. Dude, that's fine. That's fine. That's what you should be doing, because eventually you're going to get good at it and you're going to get used to the rhythm of the game. A lot about betting is getting used to the rhythm of the game and the tempo of the game and how that affects the score, if that makes any sense. Yeah, the college fund parlay actually come on, man. I can't participate. Like, if you give me one game, that's another thing. If you're college funding it, go one game. Stay at 50-50 odds. Thank you for the super chat, Revenant. Thank you. I'll end with this. Hello, Lawson. You're a stud. I appreciate it, Rev. You're fucking awesome too. You're a longtime subscriber. Got a 14 7-point teaser with the Vikings. Vikings -5, yes. Cardinals -5, yeah. But I don't even know if Fields is going to play. And for the Bears to do anything special, they're going to need him to play. And there's just not enough coaching on that team for them to do it outright. So I agree with the Cardinals -5. Chargers, Bengals over 43.5. Yeah. And New England +9.5. That New England one is a wee bit risky. Wouldn't you rather just bring the Colts down against the Texans? Unless, like, I'm not like Mr. Cole. I'm not like Mr. Jonathan Taylor. But wouldn't you want to just bring that one down instead? That's what I would do instead of that New England one. But I do think that New England one's a 1-score game. And when we're talking about New England and the Bills, I could see the Bills getting blown out, but I can't see New England getting blown out, if you understand what I'm saying. Some games, the Bills should start way too sloppy, and the hoodie Bill Belichick is going to absolutely decapitate them. Guys, make sure you go check out the Week 13 Vegas spread videos. I got the teasers up. The teaser's really good this week. Go check that out. Go check out the over-unders. Hit the like button. Share the videos. This is the best gambling show on the internet. And I think tomorrow I'm going to go live on Instagram. I usually like to go 2 hours. We're only going an hour and a half. Tomorrow I'm going to go live on Instagram. If you haven't followed me on Instagram, I know someone's probably saying, Lawson, bro, Instagram's cancer. Yeah, but it's the best way for me to communicate with you guys. Lawson Bets NFL Instagram. Follow me there. Let's get this money. Thank you, guys. Great questions today. You guys went hard.